Hi, I'm Jim. I'm a nephew, a brother, a partner, a geek, a huge geek, and I'm also a dad to a wonderful little boy called Zach, and my cat Trix, but he does his own thing. But just a few years ago, I was trying to do all this whilst battling alcohol, and I had been since my 20s. I really thought I could control it and just do both. But then amidst the pandemic, it cost me my home, my job, and worst of all, my relationship with my son. I was really at my lowest point, and I finally had to admit that I wasn't going to win this fight on my own. That's when I decided to engage with Turning Point and enter treatment, at which point my whole life changed. I met my wonderful partner Rach. I got a home to call my own for the first time in 10 years. And with Turning Point support, I went to court for my son and won parental responsibility and stepped access. So now recently we've just spent our first birthday together, which was amazing. I also joined the peer mentor program to support others through their journey of addiction. And this has given me new skills that's led to me training for a paid role as a PSI facilitator, running the groups that I was in during treatment, and again helping others along their journey. Me and my partner got engaged, and most importantly, my son is getting to know his real dad, which I couldn't have done without the tools Turning Point provided me with. Now I have a stable home, an amazing relationship with my fiance, and I'm finally on the way to being the hero that I see my son as, and what every kid deserves from their dad. So to anyone out there struggling, I'd say you're not alone, and there's no shame in seeking help. It can be done. Just a quick update, I got the job. I'm now a group PSI facilitator and trainee recovery worker. The sky's the limit once you get sober, so to anyone out there who's struggling with recovery, stay strong, there is life after recovery.
Tingle, tingle, gone is the pain. I'm lying in the gutter in the pouring rain. It won't get me, I'm too strong, but I'm scoring bags before too long. I'm down in the cellar to have sex with a fella to pay for my vice, which is hot as ice. Buy a bag of brown to bring me down. You can get drugs easy in this small town. Little London, that's what they say. Youngsters scoring drugs every day. Shoplifting, tricking, wherever the crime, all to pay drugs when in their prime. Rich or poor, the dealers want more. If you need them, they'll come with a score. Crack, alcohol, whatever the name. Lay off these killer drugs. This isn't a game.
Life can bring some ups and downs. What a bumpy ride. CGL helped change my life, and now I am full of pride. When it's dawn in the morn, This is when I rise. Sense of achievement fills my heart. This is now my prize. No more sorrow for tomorrow as I walk this earth. I lift my head to the skies. Now I have self-worth.
Look at where I came from. 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 It's the end of an era. I can see so much clearer. The only time I look behind me is when I look in the mirror. When I was far too near the edge, I would have surely drowned if I'd have fell into that river. But I found some inner strength. I was discontent, and I independently lost my innocence. I committed a big offence, and now the cat's amongst the pigeons. Guess I should have built a bigger fence. I used my 9 lives, I've only got this attempt, and it's a bitter end. Ain't got no time for any more cognitive dissonance. It's true the misadventure, sure they killed me, but it didn't. Here I'll linger, and my middle finger still isn't bent. I think I'm meant to pick myself up off the ground. We are the detox factor, we are standing proud, and we're inspiring the addicts that are dying. The sky's the limit, we're flying, and we're headed to the clouds. Look at where I came from, and see where I am now. Look at where I came from, and see where I am now. Look at where I came from, and see where I am now. Oh, 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 oh. Are you trying to bring me down? Are you trying to bring me down? Look at where I came from. Yo, it was killing me, I've lost all of my dignity. I do not want your pity, you can keep your sympathy. Yeah, I was dedicated to staying medicated. Now we will do this for everybody that never made it and is still suffering. Time to put the brakes on. Yes, it's true, my brain's gone, but look at where I came from. Together we stay strong, I know that we ain't wrong. It's time we make a song and everybody plays along, because I cannot do this on my own. No, I don't wanna be alone. I do not have to change my tone of voice for me to feel at home. We're waking up, we don't mean to make a fuss. Some people they look down on us, but I got something they can suck. Yes, they can take a look at where I came from, and see where I am now. Look at where I came from. Look at where I came from, and see where I am now. Look at where I came from. Look at where I came from, and see where I am now. Oh, 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 oh. Are you trying to bring me down?
I brought up round here, round Grimy in Barnsley, as a miner's lad. Like, this is where all my drug use started and my drinking when I was a young lad. I used to try and fit in with all the rest. I used to think, why am I like this? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel different? I always wanted to fit in and be centre of attention, and that's where all my drinking started. Life got really tougher when my mum met this fella when I was about 15, and he didn't really like me that much, and my mum ended up kicking me out, and me drinking and me drug use really kicked off, and then I ended up in prison. When I got out of prison, I met love of my life and had a little beautiful boy, and I thought my life was going great, but I was still lying to myself about drugs. Bit of a Del boy me, you know, when I was younger. Even started dealing. Could get any drug you wanted. Everybody come to me, because he used to buzz off me. So I was a bit of a Jack the Lad. And started dating people. Started doing a lot of things. Started with drinking, that even got worse. With drug use, going out partying. It all kicked off. It proper kicked off. I've lost the will to live, losing everyone who I love, especially my little boy. I need help. I can't do this anymore. I need to contact someone.
Cheers, buddy.
I got the help. I'm 7 months clean now, just got out of rehab, volunteering. And you know what? If you really want it, sky's the limit.
I started learning to knit when I was 11 or 12. My grandmother and my mother both taught me to knit. I like the feeling that I'm creating something. It gives me a sense of control and a bit of power in my life when a lot of my life can feel out of control. After the age of 9, we did move around, barely staying 2 years in one place. Unfortunately, my father took sick and he had got Alzheimer's when I was 12. By the time I left school, I realised that I wasn't going to be supported by my religious mother, and I suffered some mental health issues myself for the next few years, and that's when the knitting started again. That was part of my recovery. During my 30s, with some work-related stress, I realised that alcohol at least helped me relax after a stressful day at work. I started to misuse it, to rely on it once or twice a week, but of course it escalated and started to become a problem. It was a roller coaster ride. There was no getting off. So I didn't stop the drinking. And of course during lockdown, like a lot of people, with the best of intentions, it got out of control. After lockdown, I found myself without a job and then homeless. I spent some time homeless on the riverbank, and I was still knitting in my tent, still productive, because I was still me at the end of the day, without a roof over my head. It helped me through, just to remind myself what I was, what I could do, have that little bit of control again. It is very, very therapeutic form of escapism. It's a fantasy world. It's a world of beautiful colours and textures. I can look at the bigger picture and realise that by drinking I won't be able to do my knitting, and I can just think that what do I want at the end of this evening, and that can keep me from reaching for a drink. It can keep me happy and content. I keep a few items for myself, but a lot I have given away a lot over the years, because it is my way of saying I care, or I want to share this with you. I'm hoping in the future, looking forward to having a place of my own again. I want to be in control of my life the way I can control my knitting, and an orderly life, because at the end of the day that's how I want to live my life. That's how you knit, you follow a pattern. If you didn't do that, you just have a whole spaghetti of wool on your hands.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I'm here to talk about my recovery journey. And to be truthful, I'm quite amazed that I'm even here today and alive.
Hiya, my name's Kate. I remember being 5 stone in yellow and thinking that for me the sky's the limit would be to get out of hospital.
I'm Christian and I'm in Salford to do a video about recovery, which is called The Sky's the Limit, which is quite ironic considering this is where I'm from and this is where I reached my lowest point. And now I'm back doing a video.
Come down to Canal Street in Manchester today just to talk about a little bit about the sky's the limit. Well, the sky is the limit. I've been sober now for a long time in recovery. And in recovery I managed to have 3 children who've never seen me drink.
Yeah, after discovering everything and doing the volunteering and working, I'd like to explore more my creative side now. Art, making things, get more into that kind of stuff, photographer, maybe some acting, amateur theatre, things like that, because I like things like that. That's about me for now.
I've been to college and now, for me, the sky's the limit. I'm going to go to university and bring back my family's first cap and gown, and I can't wait.
13 months clean now, after spending over 30 years in addiction, which is unbelievable to me, you know. This does feel like something else. I'm now volunteering for a couple of different organisations and getting involved in quite a few things. And some of my aspirations, I'd like to work in services. I'm hoping to get a job by the end of the year.
I've managed to go to college, hold down a job, looked after a baby, been married. Not all in the same order, in the right order. Yeah, I've come a long way in recovery, and I know now that the sky's the limit. Every time I think I've done something and that I'd never be able to do, I do something else, and that's the really lovely thing about it.
I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier.
Draw the curtains. Just draw the f***ing curtains. No. Keep them shut. Brush your teeth at least. Your hair maybe, shower perhaps. I can't. Everything hurts. Do not call your dealer. Do not go to the pub. Do not. But then what? Leave the bedroom at least. Everything feels too much. Why can't I be like everyone else? Why can't I look at anyone else? Why can't I just stop hating myself? Go back to bed. Warm, safe, and perhaps when I wake, I'll be able to imagine a future beyond tomorrow. I haven't used for 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 days. I haven't used for 7 days. It might not sound like a lot, but it is. It really is. I might download Couch to 5K. Today, I am grateful for my bed and that I'm not dead. Woke up before midday. Perhaps I should set my sights higher, but how high? The sky's the limit, they say, but I'm more comfortable on the ground. Feet barefoot on the ground, listen to music, hear the sounds. Can you feel it creeping back in? The life force that lives within. But shouldn't you really be suffering, undeserving of more than just punishing? No. Routine, stability, creeping monotony. Called someone in recovery, not your dealer, no, a new person in recovery, and didn't hang up before they picked up. Stayed awake until 2 a.m, not using, just chewing the fat, shooting the breeze. I think they like me. I even like me, and maybe I might be okay. I might even put on some sunscreen today. I think I know what they mean by grateful. Grateful for dancing and laughing until my belly aches.
for sunset and sunrise and the smile in a stranger's eyes. Anything is possible. I might even get a fucking hobby. Maybe even earn some money. Maybe I can't. Maybe I might. Maybe I can. But what if? What if I try and dare to believe that my dreams might just be worth dreaming?
I want to own and build my own house.
Dance on beaches until the sun comes up.
To travel around the world.
I want to take my kids to learn more about flowers and grow a really peaceful garden.
Go back to college and learn new things.
I want to climb a mountain.
Like now.
I hope that one day I will be free from the trauma that I've experienced in my life and be able to grow into the best version of myself.
The idea of this week is to challenge people in recovery, really test our character and resilience.
We went gorge walking, climbing over rocks, through waterfalls. Initially when I got there, I thought there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this. I certainly came into recovery with no self-esteem. What I needed to learn was about relationships and about people and about trust. You need to experience it firsthand and live it.
I remember being halfway up, looking down, and I was quite scared, like my heart was going and that. And I was thinking, right, that's it now, you know, I'm not going to go any further. That's a natural fear to feel. Well, it is for me anyway, in a situation like that, it's natural to feel that anxiety and fear. That's what I'm going to be working through, because there's going to be times in recovery when fear of relapse sometimes comes along.
Learning how to accept help, I really had trouble with. I kind of got into a position in addiction where family didn't trust me, didn't trust anything I said anymore. I had to trust the rope, I had to trust the person at the bottom. Having that trust of others was a massive deal for me.
We're a family. We're all going to do it together. And when we all get up there, we're going to celebrate together. And we're going to be together because we love each other. I've never had that before. You know, just absolute encouragement. That has been what has spurred me on. We will all have come out of this better, brighter, stronger, more resilient people.
In recovery, we are warriors, fighting a battle every day, really. I got encouraged to keep going, to keep fighting that battle. That's what I'm here in recovery to do, to grow in myself, in my heart, in my emotions, and my mind, and live the best life that I can live.
So I was born in '98. My dad's Italian, mum's Irish traveller. Didn't really have a very good upbringing life. My dad wasn't bad in it, but my dad he didn't love me how like I wanted to be loved as a kid then. I always wanted to be around my dad and that, and it wasn't like that. I first tried cannabis when I was like 8 or 9 or something like that, and then tried it again when I was like 12, 13. Obviously it moved on to harder things and like coke and that. Once it got to coke, it just kind of like spiraled out of control a little bit. because I got myself into debt and things were threatened and that. My missus said it's just better to just have some time apart from each other. If I can sort myself out, then we'll fix it. When I was first a couple of weeks into stopping, every now and again I'd have a bit of an urge, oh, go get some coke or something, go out a bit. Why do you need it? Do you want to feel rough tomorrow morning? And do you want to have an argument with your missus tomorrow morning? Do you want to be paranoid and thinking stuff and relaying that in my head? I ain't going through that. I'm an adult now and dad. 2 months ago, I was on it every day. Now I'm not even thinking about it. Because I'm doing well, I could go over and see him. I've been going over every week, at least once a week. I just want to have a nice safe place for my kids and we can come in every day, put our feet up, not have to worry about anything. I'm not going to get that if I'm doing drugs. I wouldn't change a thing, man. How I look at life now compared to what I used to, I've tried killing myself loads of times and stuff. I weren't even bothered about dying and shit like that, but now, anything you think you can do, you can do. You just got to have enough determination to do it. You got to have enough of a drive to want to do it. I just want my son to love me and love me for who I am. As long as when I'm older, he still rings me up randomly. And when he puts the phone down, he says, "I love you, Dad." As long as he says that to me, that's all that matters to me. Happy days.
I was trying to hide the alcohol in plain sight.
When I looked at myself in the mirror, it was just, you just wanted to scream at yourself, just wanted to shake yourself and just to wake yourself up.
Coming home from work, having a glass of wine, coming home from work, having a glass of wine with tea, glass of wine, finished bottle after tea.
It grabbed me so hard where I was waking up through the night, needing a drink constantly.
Once it grabs hold of you, it don't like letting go.
I was successful and alcohol took me to depths that I didn't ever want to go back to again.
Alcohol took literally everything from my life. Money, it wasn't the biggest problem. It took dignity, my daughter, my family, my job.
And it's just been consequence after consequence after consequence.
It wasn't a gradual drinking, it grabbed me and that was it.
I was living in oblivion.
I couldn't go a day without it or an hour without it. They told my family I had 24 hours to live. I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't move my head, I couldn't speak, I couldn't breathe on my own.
Horrible, evil thing. And it don't discriminate, does it?
My family got told to come into intensive care where I was, and they got told that I didn't have lungs, and this were early hours in the morning, so all my family had to come and see me. At this point, I was out of it, and obviously they just thought I was going to die.
The biggest lesson I've learned in my recovery is to listen to those people who've been there and done it and who are doing what you want to do.
It's like now I can't compare myself to the old me to now, because the old me, it's something that I was constantly blacked out, constantly in seizures, constantly just not there, not with it, that I don't remember myself as a person. It's as if I was present but not existing.
The end and the beginning. This bird phoenix was turned into ashes and then rised again.
It's a life that I never dreamed of.
Like a darkened creature of the night, I would cower in my hole. No light, no peace, no happiness, only darkness in my soul. No chance for joy, no chance for love, a heavy load to bear. No path for a way to feel, a way to live, a way to truly care. A vampire life without control, a desperate call to feed. But my blood comes in a bottle and it's that poison that I need. Like a changeling howling out in pain at a mere glimpse of the moon. I wished for release that death would bring, and it could not come too soon. How could this life, this precious gift, which started out with hope, end up within this web of lies without the strength to cope? I've lost it all, my life, my loves, my reason to survive. I no longer know how it must be to really feel alive. I'm not alone. They are like me, and they want me to do well. This welcome is a contrast to my living life of hell. This group of love, support and hope is such an open place. We work together, small steps as one, because life is not a race. The lessons that I need to learn are honesty, truth and love. These things will start me on my way. There is a star above. It will be hard, there's work to do, but never on my own. I'll make my way by working with the tools that I've been shown. The joy and love that run through life have never gone away. It was me who forced them out because I knew no other way. My thoughts are clear, my mind is strong, I'm taking back my power. I'm free to learn and loving life, enjoying every hour. Accepting just who I am and just where I'm meant to be is key to this great journey as I'm learning humility. I don't want to be a hero or a mounted knight in white. I just want to live out my best life. I'm finally seeing the light.
Kathy, I know you're home. Look, if you don't want to open the door, that's okay. I brought something for you. I'm going to leave it here. Please don't give up.
Like a dream. You try and analyze a place that wasn't there, that didn't exist, that never was and always sure be. And I was thinking in my head, got lost there, and someone said, there's a way out.
I could turn back the time. When I think of the things we used to do, I feel so isolated without you by my side. Now I learned not to blame myself. Spend every day as my last. I just wanna be happy, carry on living my
recovery journey may be lifelong, but I'm a warrior. I will stand my ground. One day, I will touch the sky. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Kathy. What have you been up to?
So, I've been working on this play for a few months. It's my chance to prove my point.
You've got this, Kathy. Your talent has no bounds.
Thank you so much for always believing in me.
It feels like a fairy tale, I suppose. Once upon a time, I was, unfortunately, did end up a homeless, injecting heroin addict that, was sleeping wherever I could. I mean, the most prominent one that I always go back to is sleeping in the back of the black taxi cab in a scrapyard. And then to fast forward sort of 18, 19 years, to then being stood on the stage in the United Nations headquarters in Vienna, talking about kind of my very own sort of field of dreams, my sort of idea of the recovery games, just amazing. And so I got help. I spent 14 months in a treatment program involving methadone, group therapy, and everything else. And it's a boy. So I volunteered within our local sort of drug and alcohol service, just starting off putting together activities for my peers and their families. Outside of the service, took over a local youth club. We had families and relatives, and services started to come to us. I moved into employment. It's been quite a journey, I suppose. So I started off working for the commissioning team, looking at how services can be improved and how families can get involved in sort of speaking about those services. And it was great for me because I had a really terrible experience of services when I first tried to access them. So I was given an opportunity to help kind of shape the recovery games idea. Really came from around about 2012. London Olympics was really big. There was a real push on community spirit and connection and volunteering. So we started to talk about, made them feel part of something. And a lot of that came from when they were younger. So, the community galas, welly throwing, tug of war, sitting and watching things like It's a Knockout. So that kind of planted the seed for the games. It's gone from strength to strength. So, never in my wildest dreams, I suppose. And I do kind of call the recovery games my very own field of dreams. I truly believe that if I built this thing, then people would come to it. From being somebody that I felt once upon a time that nobody wanted to listen to, now being sat here and I've been invited to speak sort of around the UK, and what an amazing experience. I have spoke at the Vienna United Nations Convention twice now, once in person, once virtually. So I've got people like ambassadors, senators and politicians from across the world actually wanting to hear what I've got to say. Not believing I could achieve anything, doing I was failing at life, to now being here 10 years on with an amazing event that people really look forward to. So the sky really is the limit.
My mum was an addict, so I think I was just seeing drugs as normal. I started smoking weed, I was about 13. I met my oldest daughter's dad. I was 15, he was 17. That was when my bad drug taking started. Just taking loads of Valium, codeine, like tramadol, loads of prescription drugs. And then I got pregnant with my first daughter when I was 16. Give up fags, give up weed, give up all the drugs. But then it was different with my second one because I'd had a lot more of years of drug taking. I found out I was pregnant. I was injecting ketamine every day, probably about 2 or 3 grams a day. I stopped doing that. And then they told me that they were going to take the baby off me at birth. So then I relapsed. If I didn't go to rehab, I would have carried on using throughout my pregnancy. She would probably have been born with so many problems. I was in hospital for 24 days with her. And but they said I wasn't clean long enough. I was clean 4 months, but it wasn't long enough. She's in foster care now, only just up the road. I think other people that haven't been through it think, oh, they just do it because they like getting high, or they like getting smashed. It's not that. It's not fun. I do it to fill the emptiness inside me that I feel every single day. That pain in my head, but it feels like it's in here. I don't like doing drugs. It's not fun. I do it to get away from that horrible feeling inside me that I feel when I'm sober. If you don't stay clean and you can't get your daughter back, then if that can't fix me, then I don't know what can. Now I've got clean, like for six months, probably 6 months clean. So I'm really hoping that, like, really trying that I'll get her back one day. My older daughter has really, really saved my life. Like, even though she's not with me, like, full time, I see her every week, and she's so happy to see me, and she comes out to go, "Mummy," and gives me a big hug. So yeah, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. Just a normal life. I just want a normal life.
If only I could measure forever. Could it cover the distance that brought us together? Could it even span both extremes that reveals my pain, reveals my dreams? Or reach her heart or deepest stake? Is that a journey I could take? Is it a distance I would travel as our fate starts to slowly unravel, yet also become so entwined that we could leave our past behind? The shimmering sun spins, however, we know it will not last forever. So all that turns black, all that turns gold, whatever that is meant for me, my story's not yet told.